today about a PHP statement. So what is a PHP statement? So a statement can be an assignment, a function call, a loop, a conditional statement, or even a statement that does nothing, or we call that one as an empty statement. So statements usually ends with a semicolon. In addition, statements can be grouped into a statement group by encapsulating a group of statements with curly braces. So we have these three types of statements. So the PHP conditional statements, we have the if, the else if, the if, else if, and switch statements are used to take decision based on the different conditions. So you can use conditional statements in your code to make your decisions. So we had the if statement. So an if statement, it executes some code if one condition is true. So one condition lang dito yung tinitest natin. In if else statement naman, we use this statement if you want to execute a set of code when a condition is true and another if the condition is not true. So dito we're testing two. In our Boolean, we call that one the true and the false. So pagdating ng if else statement, dalawa na yung tinitest natin na condition. So pagdating naman ng ating if else if statement, we use the if else statement to execute a set of code if one of the several conditions is true. So if you want to test if one condition is true among all those conditions, ginagamit naman natin ang if else if statement. So this is the syntax of the if statement. So sabi ko kanina that if the if statement, it executes some code if one condition is true. So one condition lang talaga siya. So halimbawa, you test a condition and nag-false na siya. Since isa lang yung tinitest natin na condition which is only the true, ibig sabihin, isa lang yung i-output niya. Likewise, halimbawa is yung tinitest natin na condition is only a false and yet yung sagot is true, wala siyang i-output. So let me try to show you a simple code of that. Of course, to save, alam niyo naman na yung process. Of course, we need to save first our file. Save it in our htdocs. Sa some folder, htdoc. Find your folder. So, I'll be naming this one as index.php. So, save. So, how can we make sure na na-save na yung index.php natin? Pag-type natin ng HTML, lalabas na agad siya. So, we could have the title as our statements na lang. PHP statements. So, here in our body, of course, we need to open our PHP. Then, we need to close our PHP. So, we need to test our if condition. So, pagdating dito, if so, inside our parenthesis, nandito yung condition natin. So, if you're going to look at our syntax here, so this is our if statement, the condition and the code to be executed if the condition is true. So, here, I want to add a condition. So, dito papasok yung mga operators natin, like our comparison operators, mga ganun. So, our comparison operators, we have the equal, the identical, the equal, meron tayo less than or greater than, or less than equal to, greater than equal to. We had also that not identical, yung mga ganun. If you could recall that one. So, I want to test. So, of course, mag-declare muna ako dito ng variable. So, halimbawa, your age is equal to 17. So, I want to test the condition of that age variable. Is age, yan, yung age ba niya is higher than 18 years old. Pag yung age niya is 18 years old, then I'll be having a statement here saying that you are an adult. Then, don't forget the semicolon. So, if I'm going to run this one, if you're going to read this one, sabi niya, kailangan yung age mo is higher than 18 para maging adult ka. Pero, pag yung age mo is greater than 18, you are younger. You are so if I'm going to save that one and if I'm going to run that one, okay, open muna tayo ng isang browser to run that one. Of course, localhost slash /ccsite 203_28 and then run. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, wala siyang in-output because the condition is false. So, if I'm going to change that one, and then if I'm going to run that one, you are, true na lang, lagay mo na natin. So, ibig sabihin, yung age na na-declare natin is less than or equal to 18. That's why ang in-output niya ay true. Pero, if that age is lower than wala siyang i-output. Ibig sabihin, ang statement natin, which is the if statement, every time that the statement is true, doon lang siya may na-i-declare or doon lang may i-output doon sa browser natin. So, pag nag-false na siya, wala na siyang i-output. But there's a counterpart on that, which is yung if-else statement natin. So, nasabi ko kanina that an if-else statement, two condition. Dalawa na yung condition natin dito. Yung condition natin is matitest na niya if it's true or false. So, pag nag-false na siya, there's an output. Pero pag true, may output. Pag may false, meron din siyang output. So, this is the simple syntax. So, the if statement executes a single statement or a group statement if a certain condition is met. It can do anything if the condition is false. For this purpose, else is used. So, pagdating halimbawa dito sa condition natin, if we had, we test a condition here, pag true yung statement natin, this first line of the block of code, diba yung block of code natin, is inside our curly braces. So, our first block of code is executed if the condition dito sa tabi ng if natin is true. But, pumasok yung else natin. So, sa else statement natin, dyan naman na siya magpo-fall if the condition is false. So, the statement here inside our else statement will be executed if the condition is false. So, let's try this one. This one is a sample code. So, we declare our variable grades with a value of 95. So, it's going to test, is the grade less than 96? Pag yung grade mo is less than 96 or mas mataas doon sa na-declare na grade, you got an A. But if your grade is lower than the declared grade, you got a B. Kumbaga is, dito is true, dito naman is false. So, let's try to run that one. So, ito na lang halimbawa. So, maglalagay na lang ako ng else dito sa end of our curly braces. And then, we're going to open another curly braces. An echo statement saying that this is false. So, kung kanina, nung i-run natin ito, walang lumabas or walang nag-output sa browser natin na false, since we use already our if-else statement, magkakaroon na tayo ng output sa browser. Ayan. So, yun yung kagandahan ng paggamit ng if-else statement. If gusto mo na may two answer, if you want that the condition will be tested if it's true or false, you are going to use if-else statement. Pero kung yung condition is isa lang, yung gusto mo na statement ang lalabas, pag true lang, if lang gagamitin mo. Next, we also had our else if statement. So, else if statement is a combination of if and else. It extends an if statement to execute a single statement or a group of statements if a certain condition is met. It cannot do anything if the condition is false. So, this is the syntax. So, we have here again our if. So, nandito na naman yung condition natin. So, whatever condition we put here, it will be tested. If it's true, eto na niya yung i-output niya. But if it's false again, it will fall under our else if. It will test again a condition here. Iti-test niya yung condition. Pag yung condition natin is true, i-output na niya to. But, pag false pa rin, pagdating ng ating second condition, automatically, i-execute na niya yung else natin. So, yun yung kagandahan ng else if statement. Kahit na damihan mo pa yung else if statement, pwede. As long as you want to test everything na nandun sa statement natin. So, we had here an example. We had the value of x, which is 5. The value of y is 6. So, if x is greater than 5, so yung x natin is 5 and yung y natin is 6, automatically, this is false. Pagdating ng else if statement natin, it's going to test again the condition. Ano nga ba yung sa condition natin? Si 5 ba is equal to y? So, false pa rin siya. So, since false pa rin siya, automatically, dediretso na siya dito sa ating else statement. Kumbaga is, yung pagdating sa else statement natin, yun na yung pinaka-default natin na if in every line of code na lahat na sila is nag-false, automatically, lalabas na siya sa ating else statement which will become our default. Kung ano yung naka-echo doon, is yun na rin po yung output niya. So, let me try this one to code. Let's try to code this one. Sinong nandun siya? Ano sino? Let me run that one. Then let's run that one. For syntax else if in line 10 daw. If $x yeah, we forgot. The semicolon. Line 14 daw ko lang ako na semicolon. Kalimutan ko si semicolon. And, so automatically, since our first line of if is false, kasi false na siya, diba? 5 is not greater than 6. So, false na agad yan. So, pagdating naman dito, false din agad siya. That's why it automatically outputs our else statement. What if magkakaroon naman ng true dito sa higher part? Halimbawa, I'll be changing this one. So, if I'm going to run that one, so, ibig sabihin, on the first if, meron na tayong true, i-disregard na niya lahat ng mga statement natin below. Kung nasaan na yung true, doon na po siya, yun na po yung i-output niya. Hindi ibig sabihin na because we had that default, is i-output pa rin na siya. So, if that certain condition, na met na niya yung condition, and that condition is already true, yun na po yung i-output ng ating statement. So, kahit na magdagdag pa tayo dito ng napakaraming else if, ite-test niya line by line those conditions, at hahanapin niya talaga kung nasa ang condition sa else if natin ang may true, and then yun po yung i-output. So, let's proceed. So, we also have the loops, PHP loops. So, ano nga ba ang PHP loop? So, often we write code that we want the same block of code to run over and over again a certain number of times. Kasi kung minsan ang hirap naman that you code and then you copy those code again and again para lang magkaroon ka ng maraming output. Why don't we just use a certain code para mararan natin yung block of code natin over and over again until kung saan natin siya gustong mag-run. Kasi ang looping, it's very important that you know how to use PHP loop, because once your system or once your website or web page is connected already on the database and you have a lot of files on the database that you want to output, kailangan talaga marunong kang mag-looping. So, halimbawa, you want to output all the students enrolled in the subject. So, through the use of looping, maa-output mo lahat ng mga student. Hindi mo na kailangang i-declare that I want to output, halimbawa, karamilya lang yung output mo, isa-isahin mo ganun. So, it takes time. Pero pag may looping ka, you just need to enter, halimbawa, enrolled in the subject, automatically i-output na niya lahat through the use of looping. So, loops are used to execute the same block of code again and again as long as certain condition is true. So, whatever the condition that you put inside the loop, pag na-met na niya yung condition na yon, mag-i-stop na yung looping. That's why we have what we call maximum length nakalagay kung minsan, or kung ano yung mga kinocall natin sa system natin. Halimbawa, we want only the number of students enrolled in 1A. So, all the students enrolled in 1A, pag na-met na niya yung condition, kung sino yung mga naka-enroll sa 1A, yun lang yung i-output niya. So, in PHP, we had different types of loops. We had the while loops. So, yung while loops, it loops through a block of code as long as the specified condition is true. We also had the do-while loops. So, sa do-while loops naman, it loops through a block of code once. So, once muna niya i-run and then repeats the loop as long as the specified condition is true. So, for the for loops naman dito gumagana yung sinasabi nila na common sense natin. Kasi sa for loops, nag-visualize mo na agad if how many numbers of looping or a specified number of times that kung ilang beses siya mag-loops. So, for each loop naman, this is only for array. So, it only loops through a block of code for each element in an array. So, hanggang array lang talaga siya. So, how do we do that? So, ang while loop po yung pinaka-simplest na looping sa PHP. Why? Because it executes the statements repeatedly as long as the condition is true. So, the condition is checked every time at the beginning of the loop. So, we had here our while loop. From here, inside our parenthesis is our condition, and inside our curly braces, or what we call our block of code, are the codes that we need that will be executed as long as hanggang sa ma-met niya yung condition. So, this is the explanation kung paano naglo-looping. So, from this example, we had here variable x with a value of 1. So, sabi ko nga kanina that while loop is very simple. So, we call this one as the initialization. So, from here, kung saan mag-start yung looping natin. So, if we declared that we want to start our loop on number 0, mag-start siya sa number 0. So, every time that we declared a variable with a value, doon na po nag-i-start yung looping natin. We also have here the condition. dito naman sa condition natin, it continue the loop as long as ma-met niya kung ilan yung dineclared natin. Like for this example, we declared until 5 only. And from the initialization itself, we start from 1. So as long as the condition is true, mag-looping siya until number 5 only. So we also had here our increment. Ibig sabihin that as long as the condition is true, mag-a-add siya ng mag-a-add until ma-met niya yung condition na nakadeclare na condition doon sa ating while loop. So mag-a-iterate siya, mag-a-add siya. So a simple example is here, I declared a variable x with a value of 1. So I initialize it with number 1. So I'm going to test using the while loop. So while. So ibig sabihin that this variable x here is 1. So I'm going to test the condition. Is 1 less than or equal to 5? So ibig sabihin, mas mataas pa rin si 5. So since it is true, i-output ko the number is 1. So lumabas na agad si number 1. So na-output ko na si 1, papasok ngayon itong increment. Magpo-plus 1 ako. So si 1 magiging 2 na siya. So yung value na dito sa ating x will become 2. It will test the condition again. Is 2 less than or equal to 5? Since our condition is still true, i-output niya si 2. And mag-increment na naman tayo. So si 2 magiging 3. So the value of x here will become 3. It will test the condition again. Is 3 less than or equal to 5? Since it's still true, i-output natin dito si 3. And mag-increment na naman tayo, which the 3 will become 4. So, the value of x here will become 4. It will test again the condition. Is 4 less than or equal to 5? Since it's still true, i-output natin si 4, magdadagdag na naman siya ng isa, magiging 5. So, pagdating ng x natin dito sa while looping natin, i-test mo, is 5 less than or equal to 5? So, since we had this operator which is equal, it's still true. So, i-output na niya si 5. Magdadagdag na naman siya ng isa. So, si 5 magiging 6. I-check niya yung condition. Is 6 less than or equal to 5? Since false na siya, nag-stop na po siya. So, your output, you initialize it to 1 and the condition is until 5. So, ang magiging output mo is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try to run that one. So, I'm going to initialize that one. So, I had here the while, the condition. $x greater than equal to 5. X na lang dito. $x and break na lang. Then, we're going to increment x. So, if I'm going to run that one, this will be the output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I start in 1. The initialization is 1. If I'm going to initialize it to 2, and I'm going to run that one, of course, mag-start siya sa 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. What if I remove the equal? Diba? Pagdating ng 5, is 5 less than 5? Diba pag we had that both number, nagiging false na siya. Kaya ang magiging output na lang niya yan is 2, 3, 4, 5. So what if I want even numbers only? Paano natin gagawin yung even numbers and then it will start to 0. So, through the use of increment or the shorthand method, yung shorthand operators natin, if you could recall our shorthand operators, magagamit natin siya pagdating ng increment natin. So, we can change that one to equal and then 2. Ibig sabihin that whatever value of x, it will be added into 2. So if I'm going to change this one, I'm going to end that one until 10. So mag-i-start siya ng 0, mag-i-end siya ng 10 with the increment of 2. So ang magiging output natin is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So if I'm going to run that one, yan na po yung output natin. 8 lang kasi hindi tayo naglagay ng equal. Naglagay tayo ng equal dito, saka lang siya magiging 10. So that's how we use our while loop. Siya yung pinakasimpleng intindihin. As long as you know that whatever you initialize and whatever the condition, nakita mo sa condition hanggang saan yung condition natin, and depende rin sa gagamitin mo ng operator, if it's less than, if it's with an equal sign. Kasi kung minsan, if you only use a single operator, greater than, pag pareho na silang number, nagpo-false na siya. That's why, if nakalagay naman doon is may equal sign, imi-met niya until yung kapareho niyang number. Okay, let's proceed to our... Okay. So this is the visualization or the pictorial representation. Diba? Yung kanina. So we have the condition. If the condition is true, the looping will continue. But if the condition is false, it automatically stops. Mag-stop na agad yung condition, false yung ano natin. Eh, yun pala yung ano, yun pala itong while loop natin. If the first condition pa lang is false na siya, let's try. If the condition, unang condition pa lang natin, unang run pa lang natin is false na siya, wala ka na pong may output agad. So if I'm going to run that one, wala ka na talaga i-output. So kailangan, a certain condition is true para may looping. But on your first condition is false na talaga siya. So wala ka na talagang may output. So, okay, let's proceed to the do while loop. So if the while loop is very simple, but a certain condition is true para may output. Pagdating naman kay do while loop, hindi niya kailangan i-test ng condition. Pag meron ka ng agad statement, i-output na niya agad, and then saka niya lang i-test yung condition natin. So the do while loop will always execute the block of code once, nung lang ako. It will then check the condition and repeat the loop while the specified condition is true. So dito sa ating do, we had here a code to be executed. So meron na tayo agad echo in this line of code. So i-output na natin. Pagka-output niya, iti-test niya yung condition. If that condition is true, the looping will execute. But if the condition is false, it automatically stops. Pero meron na siya agad naka-output. May naka-output na agad. So whatever you initialize, it will be output directly. Kung wala pa siyang tinitest na condition. So this is an example. So an example below says a variable x to 1. So initialize natin yung x is equal to 1. Then the do while loop will write some output and then increment the variable x with 1. Then the condition is checked. So from here, I have here the variable x with the value of 1. Paste ko. Yan. So since here, ang do natin, it execute muna, it outputs first, the first line of code, before it's going to increment, and then it will going to test the code. So, do the number, so etong x natin, i-output na niya siya agad, i-output na niya. Pagka-output niya na ganyan, mag-i-increment na siya, magiging 2 na agad siya. While 2 is less than equal to 5, since it's true, i-output niya siya dito. So, naging 2 na siya. Magdadagdag siya ng isa, it will become 3. It will test again the condition. 3 is less than equal to 5, still true. Output niya si 3, dagdag siya ng 1, magiging 4. Then 4 is less than equal to 5, since it's true. Output niya si 4, magdadagdag siya ng isa, magiging 5. Then, run ulit niya. Output niya si 5, magdadagdag siya ng isa, test the condition. So, if 6 less than or equal to 5, since it's false na siya, wala na siyang i-output, mag-stop na rin po yung gagawin natin. So, on the first condition pa lang, on the first statement pa lang natin, i-echo natin, meron na siyang i-output. So, let's try to run this one. Ito, ayusin lang natin. Ayan. So, magdadagdag lang ako dito ng do. So, eto kanina, ang output natin is 0 to 10. So, i-check na natin. Do. So, echo natin etong nandito. Is natin, lagay natin dito. Do, echo, increment by 2, while, pero, tingnan while natin, it ends with a semicolon. So, wala na siyang block of code. The block of code resides only on our do loop. So, sa do lang nagre-reside yung block of code natin, and then the condition is outside the curly braces or outside the block of code ng do natin, and then ends with a semicolon. So, huwag niyong kalilimutan yung semicolon kasi lagi ko siyang nakakalimutan. So, if I'm going to run this one, automatically, pareho din po ang magiging output niya kanina. Wait lang. Palitan natin yun. So, our output will be the same, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Ibig sabihin that our variable x with a value of 0, in-output na niya agad yan before siya nag-add ng 2. So, pagka-add niya ng 2, the value of x here will become 2. We test the condition is 2 less than or equal to 10. Since it's still true, i-output niya agad-agad dito. Si 2 natin, magdadagdag ulit siya dito ng 2, magiging 4. 4 is less than equal to 10. So, true pa rin siya. Output niya dito si 4. Nagdagdag siya ng 2, magiging 6. Tetest niya si 6. It's still true. I-output niya si 6. Magdadagdag siya ng 2, magiging 8. Tetest niya ulit yung condition. Since it's still true, i-output niya si 8. Pagdating niya dito sa increment natin, nagdagdag ulit ng 2. I-test niya yung condition, naging 10 siya. So, is 10 less than or equal to 10? Since it's still true, i-output niya si 10. Magdadagdag ulit ng 2, magiging 12. Pagdating ng condition natin dito, is 12 less than or equal to 10. Nag-false na siya, nag-stop na yung looping natin ng 10. What if naman, pagdating dito sa ating while loop, is false or wrong na agad pagdating dito. So, explanation ko kanina na pagdating sa do while loop, meron at meron muna siyang i-output even if the condition is false. So, if I'm going to run that one, ang i-output niya lang is our 0. Kasi dito, nakapag-echo na agad tayo dito ng 0 before siya nag-increment and before siya nag-test ng condition. So, that's the difference between our while loop and our do while loop. Okay. So, ito naman yung ating pictorial representation. So, first, we initialize. It will go to the body of the loop before it increment. Magte-test siya. If it's true, tutuloy-tuloy yung loop. Pag nag-fall siya, mag-i-stop natin siya. So, we had here the for loop. Yung for loop, lagi kasi sinasabi sa akin ang for loop. Common sense daw. Kasi for loop is that you already know how many times the code will be executed. Kasi ilalagay mo naman na siya to test that you know already how many number of loop iterations yung magaganap. So, from here, kagayang-kagaya rin siya ng ating while loop, tsaka ng do while loop, we need to initialize. So, kung kanina is nakaseparate yung initialization natin, nakaseparate yung condition natin and increment, pagdating naman kay for looping is that nasa isang parenthesis na lang sa ito. So, here, we initialize. Here is the condition. Here is the increment or the decrement, and then the code to be executed. Ayan. So, ano nga ba yung initialization? So, yung initialization natin is init ang tawag natin, init counter. So, we initialize the loop counter value. And then, we also had our test counter. So, i-evaluate na niya yung loop natin kung ilang beses siya mag-iterate. If it evaluates to true, the loop continues. But if it evaluates to false, then the loop ends. Meron din tayo yung increment counter. So, dito sa increment. So, it increases the loop counter value. If gumamit ka ng increment, mag-add siya ng 1. Or halimbawa is ginamit mo yung shorthand by 2, pwede rin. or pwede rin siya ng decrement. So whatever you use here, yun naman yung ipo-follow niya as long as the condition is nami-met pa rin niya. So we had here our example of the PHP for loop. So we had here the value of x which is 0. So ibig sabihin, we initialize our x with 0. So our condition, the value of x is less than or equal to 10. So i-check natin kung magiging true ba yan. And then, once the condition is true, i-increment na siya. And then, i-echo na niya yung output natin. So, let's try to make an example again. Ito ulit, we can have that twos ulit kanina. Ayan. So, 4 na lang dyan. Control. So, lagyan ko na lang ng 4 sa tabi niyan. Kasi we already initialize here. And then, kukunin ko itong nandito. Control X, ilalagay ko sa tabi niya. Lalagyan ko lang ng semicolon. Papalitan ko yan ng less than. And then, kukunin ko ulit itong increment. Control X. Ilalagay ko sa tabi niya. Tatanggalin ko yung semicolon. Papalitan ko ng parenthesis. And then, I'm going to open a block of code. I-echo ko na naman yan. Control X. Control X. So, tatanggalin ko na si ating while loop. So, pareho-pareho rin lang naman sila eh. For our while loop, our do while loop, and our for loop. Depende lang kasi kung ano yung gusto mong gamitin to test a condition. But if I recall, lahat yata ng part ng system ko is I love using for, and limited lang yung paggamit ko ng while. Nakakonect yan sa SQL. Sa SQL, ginagamit ko lagi for loop tsaka while loop. Yan. So, since pareho din lang naman sila, let's test this one. Kung pareho din ba yung output that we initialize to 0, it ends with 10 with the increment of 2. So, ang magiging output ulit natin is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, if I'm going to run that one, yan. So, whatever looping you use, nakadepende yan on how you initialize it, what is the condition, how many times you want to increment, how many times you want to decrement. So, nakadepende yan lagi kung ano yung ini-initialize mo, ano yung gusto mong looping na mangyari. So, this is the pictorial representation of the for loop. Since it's common sense naman, mabivisualize mo na agad kung ano yung nandun sa loob ng condition. Diba? You initialize to this one, you use this logical operators. So, alam mo na agad how many times the loop will iterate. Kasi nandun na, nakadeclare na siya inside the parentheses. So, we also had the for each loop. So, yung for each loops natin, it loops through a block of code for each element in an array. So, pang-array to. If you could recall yung pinagawa kong example about the global variable, wherein I asked you to output the letter of the alphabet from A to Z. So, yung iba is that minanumalo talaga nila, hindi pa sila gumamit ng array. Which is nice kasi, syempre, hindi ko pa naman nalituro. Pero yung mga nag-advance na nag-submit sa akin with an array, sana lang is naiintindihan ninyo siya when you submitted it to me. Yan. So, this is the same path. So, for each, so we had the variable array with the value. Yan, with the value, and then the code to be executed. So, in using for each loop, so for every loop iteration, the value of the current array element is assigned to $value, and the array pointer is moved by 1 until it reaches the last array element. So, whatever you put inside the value, lahat po yun is i-declare niya or i-output niya. So, yun yung kagandahan ng for each. Ayan. So, I had here an example. So, I declared a variable color with the array of red, green, blue, and yellow. And then, ginamit ko yung for each loop. So, I call our variable colors, and then, ginamit ko itong whatever is inside the array, I declare that one as the value. and then i-echo ko ngayon yung value. So whatever is inside my array, i-output niya lahat. So array expression is an array. In every loop, the value of the current element of the array is assigned. Naka-assign siya sa dollar value. And the internal array pointer is advanced by 1. And the process continues to reach the last array element. So kahit nag-ano pa namin nandun sa loob ng array mo, as long as you use the for each, the looping is i-output niya siya. So let's try to code that one. Cars naman with the array. Lalagyan natin ito ng cars. So, BMW. And then, gagamitin natin yung for each loop natin. So, for each curly braces, I'm going to call my cars as the dollar value. And then, I'm going to echo our dollar value with a break. And semicolon. So, i-run natin. Ayan. So, kahit napakarami pa yung ilalagay mo sa loob ng array mo, as long as you use our for each looping, i-output niya whatever is inside our array. We also have our PHP break then continue. So the PHP break keyword is used to terminate the execution of loop prematurely. So the break statement is situated inside the statement block. It gives you full control whenever you want to exit from the loop. You can come out using our break. So after coming out of a loop, immediate statement to the loop will be executed. So this is the simple visualization of our break statement. So our condition, if it's true, maglo-loop siya, and then magbe-break na siya. But if it's false, yung condition natin, mag-out na siya agad, o lalabas na siya. So we also had the PHP continue. So the continuous statement breaks one iteration in the loop. If a specified condition occurs and continues with the next iteration in the loop. The PHP continue keyword is used to halt the current iteration of the loop, but it does not terminate the loop. Ibig sabihin, i-halt niya lang siya, pero hindi mati-terminate yung looping natin. Kumbaga, is magpo-continue pa rin yung looping natin. So just like the break statement, the continue statement is situated inside the statement block containing the code that the loop executes, preceded by a conditional text. So for the past encountering continuous statement, rest of the loop code is skip and next pass start. Ibig sabihin, if I declare halimbawa, I want to output 1 to 10, but I want to skip number 4. So gagamitin ko siya, even though I want to skip number 4, tutuloy pa rin yung looping natin, but start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So paano yung gagawin? I-skip nga natin si 4. So this is an example. I declare the for looping. So I initialize x to 0. I want to test the condition. Is x less than 10? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to increment. But I want to skip number 4. That's why I'm going to use the if statement and then the continue. So if I'm going to output that one, since I want to skip, gusto kong i-skip si number 4, gagamitin ko yung if statement natin. But since our condition here is our initialization is 0, So, is it less than to 10? So, as long as the condition is true, it will iterate until it reaches 10. But, i-skip niya yung number 4. So, ito yung output natin. So, if I'm going to try that one, balikan natin si for loop. So, this is our for loop. So, pagdating ng for loop natin, another block of code is inside our block of code. So, gagawa ulit tayo. And then, gagamitin natin si continue. Ibig sabihin, parang sa buhay lang yan. That kahit na may break up kayo, life will continue. Ganon at ganon ang ating if statement.
Kahit may breakup, ano?
Oo, kahit may break up, tutuloy yung buhay.
Hindi naman.
Hindi siya mag-i-stack up. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-stack up dahil lang sa nakipag-break ka na or whatever. Tutuloy at tutuloy ang buhay. Yan. So, kanina, ang output natin sa ating for loop, since we initialize to 0, we end on 10, and we increment on 2, is 0 to 10. But since I want to use the continue statement, so mawawala yung 4, our output will be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, I'm going to run that one. Token, unexpected. In line 18. Si Y. Bakit kasi nandiyan si Y? Ayan. So, ini-skip niya si number 4. Halimbawa, I want to skip number 2. So, ibig sabihin that even if you want to skip a certain part of your code, magko-continue pa rin yung code natin as long as the condition is true. Since as long as na-meet niya yung hanggang 10 natin, the condition natin is 10, and it's still true, mag-output pa rin siya until 2. Unless our condition from the start pa lang is false na siya, wala na po tayong i-out. So, yun yung kagandahan na continue statement. Yeah. We also had the switch statement. So, a switch statement, control statement, which allows us to make a decision from the number of choices. So, maganda yung switch statement. Actually, is common sense din to. Kung ano yung nabivisualize ng mata mo, whatever you declare in your switch statement, automatic, kung ano yung case, kung saan ba nakatapak, is yun na yung i-output mo. So, it is similar, also similar to a series of if statement or the same expression. So, the switch statement is used to perform different actions based on different conditions. So, naka-base pa rin po siya sa condition na ilalagay natin sa ating statement. So, use the switch statement to select one of many block of codes to be executed. So, this is the syntax. So, may switch statement ako dito. So, whatever sa end natin, ano yung gusto ko na ma-output. So, I have here a case, the code to be executed. Pag itong case 1 natin, is same dito sa hinahanap natin sa end, i-output na niya siya, mag-break na siya. Pero, kung hindi si case 1, yung katapat ng end natin, pupunta siya kay 2. Pagdating kay 2, if ito na i-execute niya, mag-break na siya, ito na yung output niya. Pag hindi pa rin siya, yung naman yung i-output niya, pupunta siya sa case 3. Ganun at ganun pa rin. Ito talaga yung i-output niya, siya yung ma-output. Pero pag false pa rin siya, hindi na siya i-output, pupunta na siya sa default. So, yun yung kagandahan ng default. Para din siya kanina yung if-else-if statement natin, na meron siya pupuntahan na default. Pag all those cases is wala yung hinahanap, it automatically goes to the default. So, this is an example. So, I have here the variable fill color with the value red. So, I'm going to switch my favorite color or my variable. So, titignan niya yan yung per case niya. So, since case is red, automatically, yung value ng favorite color natin na red, ito na yung i-output niya. Your favorite color is red, break, and then mag-exit na siya sa ating code. Pero halimbawa, that wala dito yung value na red na ng fake color natin, automatic automatically goes to our default, which is echo your favorite color. It's neither red, blue, nor green. So, napakasimple lang po ng switch statement. Pag nakita na niya kung ano yung value na nakadeclare, yun na yung i-output niya. So, we also had the return statement. So, the PHP return statement immediately terminates the execution of a function when it is called from within that function. This function is also used to terminate the execution of an eval function or script file. If the function is called from global scope, the function stops the execution of the current script. If the current script file was included using include or require, then control goes back to the follow file. Ito naman, I think dito tayo magsicentralize pagdating ng finals natin. Because, di ba, since we're on to the object-oriented programming, we will be dealing with inheritance. Wherein some block of codes na nandun sa system ninyo is we're going to cut those codes and then i-call na lang natin siya using our include or our require. So, include, ibig sabihin, or include and require is pwede mo siyang gamitin as many times as you like. Meron din po kasi tinatayong sinasabi na include once or require once. So, ginagamit naman siya if you want that the certain block of code or the certain code that you want to inherit is magagamit lang siya once. Normally, ang ginagamit lang naman ang required once or include once pagdating sa mga sign-in or registration forms. Doon talaga siya pumapasok. So, our return expression, where expression is any valid expression, note that since the return is not a function, but a language construct using parentheses is not required. Actually, hindi ko nga siya masyadong ginagamit sa code. As long as I already code some part of the code, ini-include ko na lang siya, and gumagana naman siya. Pero sometimes, nire-required siya, depende doon sa code na ginamit mo. If you had a lot of script, kasi too much script, di ba yung script natin nilalagay kasi at the end of the body. So, pag ginamit mo siya, gagamitan mo talaga siya ng return para babalik at babalik pa rin siya. So, it's called from within a function. So, returns the argument of the function. So, if the current file script naman was included using include or required, the value given to that return. So, if no parameter is supplied, null is returned. So, this is an example. So, include Q.php echo p return. So, let's make an example to that. Halimbawa, this is my index, or gawin na natin ito ng home. Ito yung home natin. So, gawa ako dito ng a-link, ahref. Include natin si PHP. Ano ba? Dito is I'm going to output echo H1 home. So, I'm going to include gagawa ako ng new file. I'm going to include halimbawa is about us.php. So, I'll be creating a new file. So, save muna natin siya. So, about us.php. So, HTML. So, this will be our about us. So, open tayo ng PHP. And then close our PHP. then I'm going to echo which one about us. And then I'm going to return. Return. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, if I'm going to run our index, ang i-output niya is about us. So, let me run that one. Control S, Control S. So, ang about us, nandito siya sa ating about us. And then, ang index natin, walang laman. Hindi ko na lang nilagyan. So, if I'm going to run that one, Control S. Kulang ako sa solo. Wala siya in-output. Ano ba? Ano ba ito nakasave? File, save as, hindi naman siya. So, i-include ko siya, include. Ito lang nag-output. Sabi ko nga wala siyang PHP. And then, sabi ko ba? Ayun. So, nagaling na natin yan. Control S. Ayan. So, whatever is inside our about us, so, in-include natin siya sa ating index. So, kung ano man yung laman niya, is i-output ng ating index. So, dito, mag-centralize yung object-oriented programming niya sa atin. Since EL2 natin, ang front-end natin, and ang object-oriented natin, is I'll be merging that one to a one project wherein you're going to cut all those two. Halimbawa, pagdating halimbawa dito sa ating header, yan, yung header natin na yan, we could save that one. Halimbawa, i-save ko yan as a simple file. Control X, and then I'm going to save that one in a new file. Hindi pwede pala. Kasi wala pa pala tayo sa body na Lagay tayo dito ng footer. Halimbawa, kuha ko ng footer. Then I'm going to close that footer. And then ang laman ng footer ko, halimbawa is H1 din. And then footer. So I'm going to save this one, yung footer na to. Control X. And then save ko siya sa new file. Control V. So, save natin yan. And then, pangalanan natin yan na footer.php. then, pagdating dito sa index natin, I'm just going to include, ayan, include ko lang siya. Footer.page. So, if I'm going to run that one, andun pa rin yung footer natin. So, if I'm going to my About Us, dito sa About Us natin, halimbawa, I have here applicable button. Then, patapos na ako. So, ganun yung pagkakat. Halimbawa, if we have here some script here, marami tayong dito nilagay ng mga script natin, mga CDN natin. Pwede natin siyang i-cut and then i-save na lang natin siya sa isang file and then include na lang natin sa ating index. In that way, if I'm going, halimbawa, to edit my footer, which will be used in a lot of pages, isang file na lang yung i-edit ko and magre-reflect na siya sa lahat-lahat ng mga files natin. So, yun yung kagandahan ng paggamit ng mga include na yan. So, include statement, na-try na natin yan kanina. So, we cut those code, we include those code using our include statement. So, require once naman, sabi ko nga kanina, the require once, normally ginagamit siya pagdating ng mga registration form, ng mga login form. So, ibig sabihin that when you use the require once or the include once, statement can be used, our statement can be used into the PHP file in another one. When you need to include the whole file more than once, if it is found that the file has already been included, so yung script natin, i-ignore na niya yung mga further inclusions. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng require once natin. So this is an example. Pag nag-include tayo ng date to day, so na-include na natin yung date to day natin. Ibig sabihin, if you're going to add additional again in your other file, i-disregard na niya yun kasi nagamit mo na siya doon sa isang file mo. So, yung machine problem ninyo, so I hope na nakasubmit na yung ilan. I already posted that one, I think 2 weeks ago. So, from that statement na naging example ko kanina, diyan mangyayari. So, I want you to create a program that will output the world, hello, and star on separate line 5 times. So, you're going to start from 0 or from 1, and then 5 times yung looping. So, pag nag-start ka ng 0, mag-end siya ng 4. If you started from 1, mag-start siya ng 5. So, nakadepende na yan dun sa i-echo mo. Ano ba yung i-echo mo to output hello, asterisk, 5 times. Next. So, kung kanina, we output from 0 to 10. Now, I want you to output from 10 to 1. Pabaliktad naman siya. So, how are you going to use that? But on this machine problem, you're going to use our for loop. For loop lang yung gagamitin mo.
Yung magaling na si Dalo mag-picture.
So, I think that's the end of the discussion. I hope you are going to watch my tutorial kasi tomorrow will be a holiday. Eh, gumawa na lang ako ng tutorial para mapanood nyo. Anyway, since it will be uploaded in my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel para every time that you want to watch, hindi nyo naiintindihan yung discussion ko, you could watch anytime you like. And if you have any further question, clarification, or comments on this tutorial, you could message me in our group chat. So, thank you for watching and have a nice day.